Welcome to the video lecture on Maxwell's equations and electromagnetic waves. In this lecture, you are going to learn fundamentals of vector calculus, vector operator del, gradient, divergence, and curl. Electromagnetism is the study of relationship between the electricity and magnetism. Maxwell was able to unify the electromagnetism into the only four equations known as Maxwell's equations of electromagnetism. So before going to this Maxwell's equation, you should know about the vector analysis. Physical quantities can be divided into two main classes. They are scalars and vectors. Scalars, those physical quantities which possess only magnitude and no direction in space, are called scalar quantity. Examples are temperature, mass, time, volume, etc. Now the vectors, those physical quantities which possess both magnitude and direction and also obey the parallelogram law of addition of vectors, are called vectors. So this represents the vector f. So actually f can be written as r into ar, where ar represents the unit vector along f and r is the magnitude of the vector. So vector is having both magnitude and directions. Examples are velocity, force, field strength, etc. There are two types of products among the vectors. One is called dot product or the scalar product, and another one is the cross product. Dot product or the scalar product. The scalar product of two vectors is defined as the product of the magnitude of the two vectors and the cosine of the smaller angle between them. It is represented by a dot between the vectors, so it is also called a dot product. So here A represents one vector and B represents the another vector. So A is the one vector and B is the another vector. So the dot product of A dot B is given by A, the magnitude of A into magnitude of B into cos theta, where theta is the angle between these two vectors. So the dot product of two vectors is a scalar quantity. So it is not having any direction. Examples, the work done is defined by the dot product of force and displacement. You know that force and displacement are vectors, whereas the work done is the scalar quantity. That is W is equal to F dot D. Now the cross product or the vector product is also called as the vector product. The vector product of two vectors is defined as a vector having magnitude equal to product of the magnitude of the two vectors and sine of the angle between them, and is in the direction perpendicular to the plane containing the two vectors. So let us consider two vectors A and B. Then their cross product C equal to A cross B. So A cross B is equal to the magnitude of A into magnitude of B into sine theta into AN, where theta is the angle between the two vectors A and B, and AN is the unit vector perpendicular to both A and B, that is along the C. If vector A is equal to AX hat plus AY into AY hat plus AZ into AZ hat, where AX hat, AY hat and AZ hat represents the unit vectors, and B is equal to BX into AX hat plus BY into AY hat plus BZ into AZ hat, then the cross product is given by C is equal to A cross B is equal to the determinant of this. So the cross product of two vectors is always a vector quantity. So actually this A cross B is having the magnitude equal to the area of the parallelogram constructed by both these vectors A and B, and its direction is perpendicular to both A and B, which is given by right hand rule. The example for the vector product is the angular momentum, which is given by the cross product of the radius vector r and the linear momentum p. So hence L is equal to r cross p. Now the scalar and the vector fields. A set of functions of the coordinates of a point in space independent of time is known as a field. A field can be expressed by a scalar or vector field. First, the scalar field. Scalar field is a function of a space whose value at each point is a scalar quantity. For example, the potential set up by the charge in space or the temperature. So next one is the vector field. It is the function of a space whose value at each point is a vector quantity. Consider a region in the flowing water. Each and every point can be associated with a vector whose magnitude represents the speed of the flow and direction gives the direction of the flow. Thus, the whole region could be imagined filled with the vectors and is an example of the vector field. So in order to understand gradient, divergence and curl, you should know about the mathematical operator called del operator. Del operator is a mathematical operator used to carry out a specific vector calculus operation. It is called del or nebula. In Cartesian coordinate system, del operator is given by del is equal to del by del x of ax hat plus del by del y of ay hat plus del by del z of az hat, where ax hat, ay hat and az hat are the unit vectors. So it can be also represented by I, j and k. So there are three ways in which the del can act. One is on the scalar function del t, that is called gradient. On the vector function via dot product or the cross product. Via dot product we will have del dot a called the divergence. And on the vector function via cross product it gives del cross a called the curl. Now we will discuss separately this gradient, divergence and the curl. The gradient. The mathematical del operator when operates on the scalar function, so that will give the gradient. Gradient operation is performed to find the spatial variation of the scalar quantity such as temperature, height, etc. So if t is the scalar function, then gradient of t written as grad t or del t is defined as grad t is equal to del t by del x ax hat plus del t by del y into ay hat plus del t by del z into az hat. So the magnitude of this grad t is the maximum rate of change of the function t and it's pointed in the direction of that maximum rate of change. Gradient is a vector quantity. So the gradient represents the maximum rate of change and its direction is in the direction of the maximum rate of change. Now the physical significance of this gradient. So let us consider a positive point charge in space. Let the potential set up by the charge in the surrounding be V and is a scalar quantity. That is, the potential is a scalar quantity. The potential decreases as the distance from the charge increases. Thus, the gradient of the potential results in the electric field strength, which is a vector quantity. So, this could be written as the electric strength or the electric field strength E is equal to minus grad V. So, that is equal to minus del V by del x into ax hat plus del V by del y into ay hat plus del V by del z into az hat. So the negative sign indicates there is a decrease in the potential. The divergence. The divergence of a vector field A is the dot product of del and A. So we know that the del is equal to this one, that is a del by del x of ax hat plus del of del y into ay hat plus del by del z of az hat, and A is equal to ax into ax hat plus ay into ay hat plus az into az hat. So therefore div A is equal to the dot product of del and A. So del is this one and A is this one. So therefore it is equal to this one, or it is equal to del of A x by del x plus del of ay by del y plus del of az by del z. So from the above equation, we observe that the divergence of the vector field is a scalar quantity. So this is the scalar quantity. The divergence of a vector field A at a given point P means the outward flux per unit volume as the volume shrinks to 0 about P. So in order to obtain that one, we have to consider a parallelepiped of having volume delta V. So that is delta x into delta y into delta z is equal to delta V. Now let us consider a small area ds in this particular region. Then A is the outward flux, so A dot ds gives the total outward flux in that particular area. So if you integrate that one over the whole surface, entire surface of this particular volume, so that will give the divergence of A. So divergence of A is equal to limit delta V tends to 0, surface integral A dot ds divided by delta V. Now the physical significance of the divergence. Physical significance of a divergence of a vector function is it measures how much vector A spreads out or diverges from a point of consideration. For example, if we consider a positive charge in the space, the field lines diverge and hence it is a positive divergence. In this case, there is a positive divergence. For negative charge, the field lines converge, hence it is a negative divergence. If the field is uniform, that is they are parallel, so then it is the zero divergence. The vector field whose divergence is zero is called solenoidal field. The curl. The curl of a vector is the cross product of the mathematical operator del with the vector A. So the curl of a vector field A is the cross product of del and A. So curl A is equal to del cross A. So we can substitute for del and A. So del is equal to this one and A is equal to this one. So therefore curl of A is equal to del cross A. So that is equal to this one. So that can be written as the determinant of this one. So it is evident that the curl of a vector is a vector quantity. So the curl of a vector is a vector quantity. So the curl of a vector field A at a given point P means the maximum circulation of the vector A per unit area as the area shrinks to 0 about a point P. So now if you consider a rectangular contour here, the maximum circulation of the vector A around this point P as the area shrinks to 0 is called the curl of a vector field. So therefore curl of A is equal to limit delta S tends to 0 line integral A dot dl divided by delta S. The direction of this curl A is AN cap. Physical significance of curl. The curl of a vector function is a measure of how much field curls around the point of consideration. Consider this wire carrying electric current. This sets a magnetic field around the wire. Consider the point on the wire. The magnetic field lines curl around the point. Higher the value of H around the point, stronger will be the curl. So if the field lines purely parallel, then it represents the zero curl around the point. A vector field whose curl is zero is called irrotation.